Well, we're back.
2025.
2025, and in our defense, last year.
Very weak defense.
No, it's not. I mean, we've been away from the podcasts, and it's been like legitimate reasons because we've totaled it up, and between markets, pop-up shops, wellness events, bee talks, and other things that we did last year, we did like 85, and so I think it kept us kind of busy. And I was seeing in some Facebook groups that we're in, and people were saying, oh, we really ramped everything up and we did 20 markets. I thought, I'm going to count up how many markets and talks and presentations we've done. And it was probably more than that as well.
Plus looking after acreage, bees,
Yeah.
gardens, other work we have, bicycle repairs, personal training, and flipping hats from one job to the other one. They're just never seen, but keeps us busy and out of trouble, but also keeps us off here, which...
Yeah. So
obviously the 3 people listening are very disappointed.
But I've actually had 2 new subscribers today, so...
Oh.
Yeah.
They'll soon be disappointed and leave.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So we've been away, but it has kind of been legitimate because we would do anywhere from 3 to 4 markets a week, at the height of the season, wouldn't we? So
in summer, yeah.
It just, you come home and you don't even unload the truck sometimes because you're going straight out the next day, and then you think, well, what's the point?
Well, I said to someone in beginning of October, I said, this is this first Sunday we've had off since beginning of May. So every Saturday, every Sunday, pretty much right through. And then we kind of get to second week in December and it all kind of fizzles out. And now this time of year, there's not a lot going on. And it's just kind of a time for us to start to make some and think about some different products and other things that we're making for the markets, and also kind of plan out what we want to do for 2025. And again, last year, I don't even know if we mentioned it, but we actually held 2 of our own events locally to us, and we badged them as a homesteading show, because again, everybody and his dog's kind of running a farmer's market. So we wanted just to stick a bit of a different slope onto it and just kind of attract people, not only from a farmer's market point of view, but also from, again, a homesteading. And we badge it, it's either you've got a planter in your backyard or 10 acres, it doesn't really matter, there's something there for you. So what we did is we've handpicked our vendors, and I mean the last one we did, we had 20 odd vendors in there, and we get some of the vendors to do a 15-20 minute presentation to people on what they do, how they do it, because again, all of our vendors are doing something that kind of ties into the homesteading theme. We again, whether it's us with the bees, whether it's the lotion,
and
people making soap, people repurposing clothes, and canning and other things,
vegetables, seeds,
and it's all free. People can come and they can have a look, and we just again promote it as we want to share what we can with people so they can learn.
And it's online. We've got the mbhomesteadingshow.com website, so MB for Manitoba, and so if you want to check it out. And we did the first one, for those who are local here, at Little Britain Church Hall in Lockport, and it was our first one, and we were a little bit nervous, thinking, well, what if nobody shows up and the vendors don't make any money? And half an hour, if not more, before the doors opened, they were lining up down the path into the parking lot, and within about an hour, there was a kilometer of vehicles parked on the side of the road because the parking lot was completely full. And then there was people, we got told, were driving past and were curious as to why all the cars were parked up, so they turned around and came and looked, and it was a awesome success, wasn't it?
Oh, it was a great day, yeah. And again, people saying, oh, you've got to do another. And I mean, that, again, if you're not local to us, that is on the north side of the city. So what we decided to do is...
Our client suggested
Well, our client did suggest it, yes. But again, do it somewhere different. And then we kind of hunted around for a different space on the south side of the city. and we found a great space on the south side of the city. Little more money to rent,
Brand Point.
and so we went down there in September and did the same again. Again, great attendance, a slightly larger venue with a better space for doing the talks. And yeah, it was a great day again. People loved it. So we've now also stepped in that saying that everybody and his dog's doing farmers markets. We kind of looked at the space, and we had quite a lot of people like from Grand Point area saying, really, really pleased you came to put this on. There's nothing around here. So we're
And it's an up and coming like community.
a young
houses.
community. So we're
Yeah.
in the summertime, for one Sunday in June, one in July, and one in August, we're going to put an outdoor summer market on. Again, attracting local vendors, quality vendors too, not a bunch of MLMs and stuff. So not your average Tupperware, Colour Street, and whatever else goes on. So again, as many people as we can find doing quality things as well, not just cricket machines and cups and stuff. So everybody's doing cricket machines and cup there.
So, yeah, they're all listening, going like,
Snot.
what's wrong with like?
So again, just for that point, and again, just to attract people. So even though the Little Britain venue was a little bit small and a bit cramped,
The energy and the atmosphere in there was amazing, though, wasn't it?
so we're going back this spring as well. So we're there in
26.
April 26th, and we're going to do it all again. And hopefully it's another good day. And
The community there were awesome. Great support, weren't they?
yeah, and the vendors that were there, pretty much they're all, yep, we're up for it, because they know what's coming again, hopefully. And they all did well. So again, we're actually turning people away as opposed to hunting for people for that one. And again, we'll come up with some more speakers, a few different people coming. We've done a goodie bag for the first 50 visitors, but again, we're just trying to rethink something on that point and see if we can do something for when more people get it. I mean, the fall one, because again, it's fall. People have a lot of vegetables and things left over, or stuff that maybe they can't keep. And so we did free vegetable soup, and we always do free tea, coffee, water, and everything for people as well. And again, people super appreciate it and feel not obligated to buy something, but there's always that mentality of, you've got something, I'd like to give something back. So again, from that point of view, people were very, very generous with sales, and most, if not all, people did really, really well. So,
And if our volunteer friend Patty is listening to this, like, I still think she should cancel her trip to Hawaii to come and help us, but she can't chip in this year, can she?
no, she's our little
In April, yeah.
she's our little
Ah,
she's our little star helper.
oh,
But,
amazing. She makes all the tea, the coffee, she heats up the soup, she makes everything, she clears everything away. So, like, I don't know what we're going to do now. I mean,
I don't know.
seriously, I just still think she should cancel the holiday.
I know, it's some people. No, yeah,
It's all about
I
her.
know.
It's all about
I
us.
know, she needs to get her act together. But yeah, I mean, we had again, 2024 it's started off, and we increased the beehives, and we ended up with 22. And again, it's kind of looking back on it, the signs were there, but kind of missed the signs. But in beginning of September, things we were feeding as normal, and I was doing my normal mite treatments, but
We
things
did exactly what we've done in previous years that worked.
through the year, and then just things turned south very, very quickly. And by the end of September, we'd lost half of the hives, just collapsed, no bees. What bees were there were dead on the bottom. And then by mid-October, we went from 22 to 4 boxes, basically. And that's pretty much, of the 4 boxes, 2 of them weren't great. 2 of them were looking fairly healthy. And the mites and the diseases that the mites carry with them, basically got the better of us. Again, a lot of different factors, longer season, weather changes.
The rain, like, washing the pollen and nectar out of the flowers. There was nothing for the bees to even, like, take in.
So basically we're almost back to square one again, which sucks. And again, we feel terrible, because obviously the loss of life with the bees and everything, and all the work we've put in. and all the work they put in. I mean, we had a great year from honey-wise and everything else, but as soon
We
as
had our provincial inspection in June, July. The provincial inspector came out and we got a gold star, and we said it was almost a pleasure inspecting the hives, and we're super diligent with hygiene and keeping everything clean and in
Though
good state.
we could have been more diligent with the mites, I guess, and stuff, and again,
Like you
that's
said, they get resistant to them, and
yeah, to
sometimes
some of the medications, and like you say, but there are again, this is all hindsight, and I mean, coulda, woulda, shoulda.
and you're talking to like the provincial inspector, we saw him at a market, and other farmers, and there's been a lot of like Manitoba, I don't know about Canada why, but a lot of bee farmers this year have seen
Well,
equal losses.
every year there's losses, but and again, this season again being what it was, just seems to be more than other years. And yes, we're not on our own by a long chalk. So I mean,
But
but again, the medications that the bees we've been putting into the hives or have been put into the hives for the last 20-25 years or so, some of them again are just not working like they used to. There are things you can do, again, not going too deep into it. And I thought we had covered our bases pretty much by doing
what we
certain
did before.
well, and again, it's not just one thing that you do. There's lots of different little things that you do that all add up to kind of this disease prevention and mite control. And like Karen says, is we've done it before, and this year it just caught us with a short stand, and it didn't really happen. So we've had quite a few people basically, how can we help and all the rest of it. And again, us being stubborn, pig-headed English people, just, yeah, whatever, it'll be fine. And one friend came and she says, people have bought enough honey and skincare off you. They've got cupboards full of it. But so she basically suggested we stick a donation thing on the website tab, and people can donate if they want to help us. Because again, a package.
If you don't want honey, you don't want skincare, but you want to help out. But like you said, obviously stubborn, pig-headed, like proud English like couple, and it's like, well, I don't know. This is kind of like outside of our wheelhouse, and it still feels uncomfortable. But like with anybody listening that's donated already, like we just want to say thank you so much. Like it's just been amazing. Like people who yeah, they think about how important the bees are, not just to us, but just to the ecosystem and life itself. And anybody that hasn't donated, I mean, it's on the website, but it's completely anonymous. So we just see a monetary amount like come in, and like it just gets channeled into a completely separate account that we bank, and like not using it for operating costs or to pay bills or anything. It's just sitting there so that, we can give updates as well as we use those funds to replenish things, because obviously, I mean, to replace a nuke is what, like 325, $350, something like that.
About depends. It's very.
No, but we're telling you to donate $350. I mean, $5, whatever.
It's just again, it's all depends on the market at the time.
Yeah.
And with there being a lot of losses this year, some unscrupulous is the wrong word, but if demand outstrips supply, then the prices will go up. So and
Did
that's
a
just
couple of years ago when we had that long winter, didn't it?
yeah, and that's just how it is. I mean, last few years back, they have an auction locally in the next city along in Brandon, and some of the boxes nukes were going for $600, and I mean that's
just insane.
And how you can, like people were saying, how you can actually make money from producing honey for that amount, you can't really. I mean, it's people were just buying them for the sake of buying them, and I mean the people selling them, kudos to you, you were doing very well out of it. But our first port of call will be getting some again depending on freight charges, but we'll get some packages from New Zealand, which is you basically buy bees and a queen in a cardboard tube and then just put them into your equipment. And I mean, one thing we haven't gotten a shortage of is equipment.
Got loads of empty boxes.
So we're all ready to go from that point of view. And again, touch wood, hopefully the ones, at least 2 out of the 4 in the yard survive. And if they survive, we've got a good head start on getting our own bees going again and getting some splits going. So, I mean, we won't have as many this summer as we had last summer for sure.
It's kind of going to be like a 2-year process though, because it's going to take us like, we're being realistic to like rebuild things, and it's not just the honey flow, it's how much wax and propolis and honey I'll have to use in my skincare line as well. So when I'm making my products, don't spill any.
It's no. So again, that's where we're at, and it is what it is. And I mean, it's agriculture, like any farmer or uh, person in this business will tell you. It is ups and downs, and some years you're on a high, and some years you're on a low. And we've had luckily 8 years pretty much of highs. Our winter losses are never very much. We never get summer losses, and we're always riding the wave. And basically, the wave crashed, and here we are sat on the beach. So, but we will get back on the board, and we will go again. And it is what it is. So it's again, it's been a learning curve for us, definitely, and we won't make
Tears.
we won't make the mistakes again we made this year. So hopefully, again, touch wood, this is our first and last. But again, we are in the lap of the gods with regards to nature and everything. But maybe just take a little more care in where it's completely
People are never gonna
I know, but
say that we don't like. I
I
mean,
know, but a little bit of complacency. I understand what you're saying, but you just got to try and cover all your bases. And I left some bases uncovered this year, which was just I don't know. So it is. We'll try our best anyway. Do what we can do.
but it's say Mother Nature has.
She's a cruel mistress.
Yeah, she can be really mean at times, and like we said, like what we've done in the past worked, and obviously some things just didn't last year, and to the bees' demise. And like you said, I mean, you just feel sorry for the bees.
Oh,
The lives that have been lost,
and it's not their fault. They're trying, you know what I mean, everything they can. But again, it is what it is, and we will move forward.
Yeah, and it's quite amusing because obviously we've like shared information on our social media accounts, and the amount of like friends who've been texting, have you still got some honey left? And it's like, well, it's it's not a case of like we've got lots of honey to sell because it's last year's harvest, but what we've got to look at is like you said, like how much we'll actually be able to harvest this coming year, and how we can split the hives, replenish them, and hopefully we'll get a decent amount.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Depends how many bees we end up with, how many boxes we end up with full, and how they split, and what the spring looks like. And again, a nice warm spring will give us a kickstart, and we'll go. But yeah, so I mean, that's the doom and gloom part of the.
Yeah, but like say like this last year, I mean 2023, we kind of did a gazillion different markets to see what worked, what didn't. And last year we kind of streamlined it and said these ones are really good. These ones we're going to definitely do again, and we did. And then we added a few extras in. There was a couple of completely dire markets.
Well, you don't know, you don't.
Yeah.
You don't go, you don't know.
That's probably, but we had one Saturday where I actually teach a seniors chair cardio class at a local retirement residence, and they asked me to do a bee presentation there, and normally they'd ask me to do them on a weekday, and they needed it on this Saturday morning. So the Saturday morning we'd actually booked to do there's a place called Winnipeg Beach, and it's a night market, so it runs 2 till 9. And you went to Lac du Bonnet and did the 10 till 1 market there, but I had to go to the retirement residence the morning, do the bee presentation, hightail it up Highway 9, was it? Right, and get to Winnipeg Beach, set everything all up on my own, and then you came across and met me. But you ended up with the float and both of debit machines, so I couldn't even take any card payments. I had no cash for the first 2 hours. So it was entertaining.
People were good. They said, "Oh, okay, we'll come back," and they actually did.
Yeah,
I mean,
but he did come back.
Yeah, that's a pair of bungling idiots we are. So it was.
We tend not to split up and do multiple markets on the same day, but we did 3 or 4, I think it was last year, and it worked. That particular day was a little bit challenging,
Got it.
but we did like a wilderness event. I've done like some speaking and presenting. I've done quite a few bee talks and pop-up shops. On the 26th of this month, we've still got our events tab on the website,
Yeah.
and so we're going to be adding the events
We
again. Well, I give you a list and you put them on there. And so,
occasionally.
yeah, so we will have the events tab like still updated. So we've got a few things coming up over the next couple of months, but the next, like until April when we do hours, we've not really got much at all, have we?
No.
So,
And again, this coming year, I mean, last year we pretty much got all the weekends tied up from literally from April through till November. So we know where we're at pretty much. We've found some good markets, good connections, but we just need to get some of the midweek ones kind of nailed down now, because we could do with 2 or 3 in the week as well, just to kind of tide us through that time. Because again, it is the time when, and it's just finding good ones in the week. I mean, we tried some and some weren't great. So I mean, again, it was kind of that. The weekends with 23, we sort of went through all the weekends and found the good ones, and 24 we kind of bounced through a few of the weekday ones and found a couple that were probably worthwhile doing again. So again, we just need to chase the organizers down now and see if we can get a foothold in, and see if we can get going with that.
so we've like say 2020 and 2021 was kind of WTF, like it was just like a gong show. Like 2021, I don't think they let us do any markets at all, hardly. And then 23, 24 was really kind of dialing in on like really critiquing and like developing more efficient ways with like my skincare line, like better suppliers, better processes, really working on positioning my skincare products with the quality where I have the like products. I'm still in all 6 Vida Health, and we've done a little bit of rebranding with some of the packaging, some of it not intentionally, because some of the packaging that I had was discontinued. So, it's not just bees like dying, it's other things happening that is outside of your control. And so there's a couple of new products that I've launched. There's a couple of new ones to come. And obviously with my background in mental health and nutrition, I'm going to be working on a new website, which you've set up for me, which is going to incorporate my dermal nutrition and adding in some little audio snippets, blogs that help people to understand that topicals are not just the answer to inflammatory skin conditions. Like internal chronic systemic inflammation is key to optimal, should I say, if you have chronic systemic inflammation, it can develop into mental health issues and poor gut health, which again can negatively affect your skin. So I'm going to be covering a lot of different topics on that and looking at it from the internal health and wellness and external health and wellness, because just using topicals, if internally our body's sick, then it's, if I use the analogy, it's like having an oil change, like going for your oil change for your vehicle and changing the oil filter, but putting the old oil back in. So it's like you've got to look at it from multiple angles. So I'm going to be working on that one, and so there's a couple of, like I say, new products on the website. One of the things that I was asked as well recently, which my first client, I don't know if she's going to be listening, but it was her suggestion about doing subscription with my products, wasn't it? So we've like kind of really not looked at that before, but Canada Post decided to have a strike just before Christmas, which threw small business owners like us into a loop, because you couldn't send things out, but you couldn't get ingredients and packaging and other things into you. So I had some vendor friends who had to cancel so many of their Christmas orders because Canada Post were not sending anything anywhere. So that affected us a little bit, but now obviously they are back to work, and so we got the option of maybe looking at more subscription stuff perhaps. So there's a lot going on, but we just wanted to kind of update you with things that we've done, things that are coming, and we promise.
And we've done this empty promise thing before.
Well, like I said, in our defense at the beginning of the podcast, like we kind of were extra busy last year with the markets. But
And like we said before, if we've got nothing to say, there's no point in coming on and saying
Yeah,
nothing. So
just
I mean,
and go.
yeah. So yeah. And ah. So no, just again a synopsis. We're moving on with the, like I say, with the bee situation and planning for 25 already. But we've Karen's actually got a notepad full of stuff she wants to make podcasts out of. And like I say, for the next 6-8 weeks, really, there ain't a whole heap of beans going on. So there will be more.
Yeah,
Well, we-
then we can stack them.
Yeah.
We can like free record, and as long as we don't say, "Oh, it's snowing outside," and
It
then
is actually.
it is snowing, but
Yeah.
like then it goes out in July, and
Wow, where are you living? Antarctica? Wow.
so okay, so we'll wrap it up. And like we said before on podcasts, if you've got topics that you want us to discuss, or you've got questions,
Either of you. If either of you've got anything you want to hear. Yeah.
the whole two of you,
Yeah.
there's more listening. So if like you say, if you've got questions, if you've got suggestions of what you want us to talk about, like please let
Yeah.
us know. Because,
People always have questions about bees and hives.
yes, and we love talking about bees.
We do.
Yeah.
Until next time. Bye.